Okay guys, this is the very beginning of a new unit. This is actually 5.1, not 1.1. And this unit is about factoring quadratics. So you might not know what either of those words mean right now, and that's okay, because by the end of the unit you will. So today what we're just going to talk about is what is a quadratic. So you heard this word before when we did transformations. Before we did transformations, we linked quadratic with the function f of x equals x squared. And with the parent function that looked like a u. We're going to talk even more about that this unit. But first I just want to talk about what it means to be quadratic. So the whole point of today is just to realize what a quadratic relationship is. And we're going to be doing that by looking at these pattern blocks. So here's kind of the context. Cell phones often indicate the strength of a phone's signal with a series of bars. The logo below shows what it might look like for various levels of service. So in figure 1, you've got this 1 bar, which means that you're probably in Bingham High somewhere and you have no service. If you have 2 bars, maybe you're in the main hallway, so you're finally getting a little bit of service. 3 bars, you finally made it outside. Anyway, so this growth of the figure can tell you how much service you have from looking at your phone. So what we're going to do is we're just going to look at these patterns of blocks and look at the pattern. So I want you guys to press pause on the video and just look at the patterns that you see here and write down a few of them. What do you see? What's changing about the pattern blocks? Okay, so hopefully you've already kind of thought about some patterns and some things. Let's answer this first question. Assuming the pattern continues, draw the next figure in the sequence. So in order to do this, I'm going to talk about a few of the patterns that I see in the blocks. So with figure 1, I just have 1 block. With figure 2, I see that I'm like adding on 2 extra blocks to what I had in the figure before, right? Figure 3, I'm adding on 3 extra blocks to figure 3. Figure 4, I'm adding on 4 extra, whoops, that is a 4, that was supposed to be a 3. I'm adding on 4 extra blocks. So basically the figure number tells you how many new blocks you have, okay? So if I am going to draw the 5th figure in the sequence, I'm just going to draw it by adding on to figure 4. I am just going to draw 5 more blocks onto figure 4. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new blocks. So then this red figure, or I guess figure 4 plus the red stuff, is what figure 5 would look like. Okay. Another way you might have thought about this was maybe instead of looking at the patterns of blocks, you counted the number of blocks. And you notice there was 1 block in the first figure, 3 blocks in the next figure, 6 blocks in the next figure, 10 blocks in the next figure. So if you look at the patterns, I'm adding 2 to get to the 3, and then I add 3, and then I add 4. So then to get to my next one, my figure 5, I would need to add 5 to get a total of 15 blocks. Okay. So then we get to the next question. How many blocks will there be in figure 10? So again, press pause and try to think about this. Try to figure out how you would decide how many blocks are in figure 10. Okay, one way to figure out how many blocks are in figure 10 is to actually draw the picture, right? We know that in each of these figures, like with figure 3, we had 3 blocks along the bottom side and then 3 blocks along the top. So you could kind of, draw 10 across and 10 up and then fill in the spaces in between. I don't really want to draw a giant figure like that, so I'm just going to do a bunch of adding. So I'm going to go with this addition pattern that I noticed, that each time I'm adding 1 more block than the previous time. So in figure 5, I had 15 blocks. So in figure 6, I'm going to add 6 blocks to get 21 blocks. Figure 7, I'm going to add 7 blocks to get 28. Figure 8, I'm going to add 8 blocks to the 28 to give me 36. With 9 blocks, I'm going to add 9 to get 45. And then with my 10th block, I'm going to add 10. I'm going to get 55. Okay, so I know there's 55 blocks in that 10th figure. Okay, so before we jump into number 3 and writing a formula for this, I just want to talk about the relationship that's going on here. So we notice that we can definitely find a pattern, right? There's this pattern of adding one more block than the number of blocks you added previously. And this is an important pattern, and it almost seems linear. So if you remember what linear means that you add the same number of blocks every time. So if I was adding 2 blocks to my figure every single time, it would be called linear. With this expression, or with this situation, I'm adding a different number of blocks every time, right? I'm adding 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I look at the pattern between how much I'm adding one more block every time, right? So if I look at like the change of my change, right? Let's kind of talk about this. So if I think about this row of black numbers as how much I'm changing it every time, then this row of blue numbers is like how much the change changes. And if you notice, how much the change is changing is linear, right? It's +1 every time. This kind of relationship is called quadratic, okay? So if I have a relationship where the amount that the increase is changing by is constant, that's called a quadratic, okay? Quadratics are one of the most frequently seen patterns and relationships in the world. So quadratic expressions and quadratic relationships model, like if you throw a ball in the air and then it comes back down, that like the height of the ball is going to be modeled by a quadratic expression. Okay, if you look at sometimes speed is quadratic, sometimes biological phenomena are quadratic. We're going to see a lot of different situations where things are quadratic. And so it's super important that we understand what quadratics are, and then we're going to learn a ton of stuff to do with them. So in this first unit, we're going to talk about factoring them. We're going to talk more about what factoring means later on. But for now, I just really want us to focus on what does it mean to be quadratic. So we kind of see what it looks like in a relationship, right? We see that the change of the change is linear. So now I want us to move to number 3. So it says, examine the sequence of figures and find a rule or a formula for the number of tiles in any figure number. So again, press pause, try to figure out an equation. So the idea is that you give me an equation like a function f of n, or we'll look at f of x, where I put some x's over here, and when I plug in x, and x is the figure number, it tells me how many tiles. So if I plug in 3 to my equation, I better get 6 out. If I plug in 4, I better get 10. So press pause, figure out an equation, and then come back and finish the video. Okay, hopefully you've taken a second to think about how you could represent this relationship. I'm going to go through and show you guys what equation I got, and also how I thought about this expression. Okay, so I'm actually going to redraw one of the figures down here. I'm going to draw the third figure. It's not going to be great, but there's the third figure. It's got 6 bars in it, 6 little tiles in it, and I want to figure out how many tiles are there. And one way that I thought about doing it is kind of thinking about it as an area, right? I'm trying to figure out what the area of all those little squares are. And this shape to me looks very roughly like a triangle. So I am just going to kind of connect these 2 corners and look at this red triangle. Okay. Now, the area of my figure is a little bit bigger than the red triangle, right? It's got these extra spaces right here that aren't really part of my triangle. So we'll talk about those in a second. So first I just want to think about if I were to find the area of this triangle, I would do 1/2 base times height, right? So I'd have 1/2 times the base. And in this case, the base is 3, and the base is equivalent to, remember, the figure number, right? And I'm calling the figure number x. And the height is the same thing, also x. So it'll be 1/2 times the base times the height, okay? So this expression is the expression if I had just the red triangle. But I have a little bit extra. I have these little extra pieces. So I need to make a few changes to my expression. So one thing I'm going to try, this is kind of just like a guess and check thing, is I'm going to try just making this height x plus 1 instead. Like, think about maybe if I had taken all these little pieces, I could maybe put all these little mini triangles, the leftover pieces, and maybe like build them up right here so that I had another piece on top, so that it was an x plus 1 height. Okay, so this is kind of my expression. I want to see if it's right. So whenever we get an expression like this, we have to check and make sure it's actually giving us the right thing. So if my expression is correct, then I should be able to plug in any of these figure numbers and get the number of tiles. So let's just try it with figure 1. If I plug in 1 to this expression, 1 plus 1 is 2, so 1 becomes all the x's. I have 1/2 times 1 times 2. 2 times 1 is 2, times 1/2 is 1. So that one works, that one checks out. Let's try 2. 1/2 times x, which is 2, times x plus 1, which is 3. So that is 2 times 3 is 6, times 1/2 is 3. So that one checks out too. Let's check 10. So we decided that figure 10 would have 55 blocks in it. So if I plug in 10 for x, I'm going to get 1/2 times 10 times 11, because that's 10 plus 1. 10 times 11 is 110. Half of 110 is 55. So that checks out too. So that means that this expression, this 1/2 times x plus 1, is going to be my expression for this relationship. So this equation that I just came up with is going to tell me how many blocks are in each figure. You know, I choose any figure number. I could choose 100, I could choose 1,000. Plug that number in for x, and it's going to tell me how big my figure is. Okay, so this kind of thinking is all quadratic thinking. One thing that we can notice here about this expression is that if I were to multiply all this together, I'd end up with 1/2 times x squared plus x. So I got that just by distributing in this x on the outside. And then if we look at this new expression, you're going to see one thing that's very important about all quadratic equations. Quadratic equations have an exponent of 2. The degree of the polynomial is 2, which means that the biggest exponent you see is a 2. So anytime we're dealing with quadratics, that's what we're going to be looking at. So most of this unit and the next couple units, actually, we're just going to be dealing with things that have an exponent of 2. And we're really just going to dive into what they do, what they're like, how they behave, how we graph them, and just learn a lot of really cool things about them.